Okay, so welcome back to another video inside of my YouTube channel. Today, what I'm going to be giving you an update on is three key lessons that I've kind of really experienced and gone through over the last 6 months, which I think lots of people need to hear right now. And even if you don't want to hear it, I kind of just want to get it off my chest because not only am I seeing our clients kind of go through these specific scenarios, I've been through them as well, and I know that the changes that I've made have made a huge difference to my business and also my overall LinkedIn performance, as well as the other social channels that we use. Now, these lessons, some of you might not want to hear. However, I think it's kind of like my duty with this channel now to kind of share the honest truth of kind of what I've been going through and the changes that we're applying like right this second to capitalize on the market conditions that are there. And when I say market conditions, like what's happening with LinkedIn, what's happening with social, how we're generating the leads that we do, how we're doing it consistently, and kind of, I guess, more importantly, how we're then making money off the back end of it. And to get straight into it, I think one of the things that is definitely happening more and more right now is there's a bit of panic in the market. And you might be feeling this as a bit of a business owner right now, if you're in a similar position to a number of small businesses out there, is that you are chopping and changing approaches and marketing strategy in hope that you're going to find this silver penny, this shiny penny that's going to solve all your problems. Now, what I've noticed time and time again, being somebody that does go out there and chase everything, is that if you don't stick out and try something for long enough, unfortunately, you'll never see the results. And I'm just going to talk you through one specific example to give you the context to it, because I think it's important for you to see how focus and discipline and following the right process will eventually lead you to getting the results that you're looking for if you're doing the right things. Now, there was a specific person, and I'm not going to name anybody because it's not actually relevant. However, they've been running a webinar process for 2.5, 3 months, something like that. And I don't know if you're running webinars right now. However, it's a massive part to our strategy, and we know it works because we do it time and time again. And we have lots and lots of customers in the hundreds now running these things and getting great results. It's just about getting the right things in place. Now, they have spent quite a large, considerable amount of money implementing this process into their company, and they haven't followed it to the T. Let's be really straight up and honest about it. They've not followed it to the T. There's definitely gaps there. However, they have seen a result from it. They've ran two, and they've now seen a result from it. Now, what I'm noticing a lot in the market at the moment is people are chasing, right? They're looking for revenue day in, day out, and there's nothing wrong with that if you're backed by a process that you know is going to work. Now, one of the things that has stopped working in the past, and it drives me crazy that people still do it, if you're using LinkedIn right now, you will have experienced this just in the same way that I have. But it's this whole personalized prospecting thing. So the random sales messages that you get day in, day out. And I'm not going to badmouth any agencies that are out there whatsoever, because you know what? People do what they do, and I appreciate they've got to make money as well. However, what I get really frustrated about is how someone can try something for a couple of months, 2 to 3 months, and even when they get results, because someone has jumped on a phone call and promised them the world, right? They suddenly go, do you know what? Let's jump ship and do something else. And I'm sitting there, and it's not just with our customers. I see it with people that I mentor, people that I coach, people that I train all the time. And I'm sitting there and I'm banging my head against a brick wall, because it's like, when you've got something that's working, yes, there might be something that's absolutely like the best thing since sliced bread out there. However, until you've got that process singing and dancing and running almost without you, please, please, please don't go jump and try and do something else, because you lose all the momentum and all the progress that you've set. And this is something that I used to do, and it's why I get so frustrated when I see other people do it, because I've made the mistake of starting something and not finishing it through till the end. Now, it's all well and good, right? When you run something, if something's not working, of course you just stop it. You cut it dead. But what you can't do is go 2 months in, after also a result coming off the back end of it, then going, I'm just going to try something else because actually this seems like a much better approach. Not when you've got something working. It just doesn't make sense, especially when you don't know that that's going to be a complete and utter like fail-safe work. And I know I'm ranting, but people need to wake up when it comes to growing business, just like I had to wake up. We have to really ensure that we're giving every approach the best opportunity to grow, especially when you know that it works. We've got to stop being stupid, and we've got to really go deep on looking at everything that's working in our business and sometimes doubling down on what's working rather than trying to solve a weakness. Sometimes you've got to really exploit the strengths, and from there you can start to see the results. So the first point of this video is a complete and utter rant, and some of you may have turned off by now. However, do you know what? It's really important to focus in on it. If you're going to keep chopping and changing strategies, been there, done it, got the postcard, unfortunately, you're just going to see inconsistent results and you're going to slow your overall business growth down. If a process does not work and you've been trying it for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months, right? And I know that scale there depends on where you're at in business. If you're slightly bigger, you can give it slightly longer. If you're a smaller business, yes, you may need to give it that like 3 to 4 months mark and then evaluate if nothing comes of it. But if you're getting something and getting results from it, surely that means that it's worth at least sticking out and giving it your all. Surely. So first thing, if you're doing that and you're listening to me, take it from someone that's been there and done it. The shiny penny is not the answer. If you find something that gets you at least one result, there's more opportunity to be squeezed out of it. And then if you get to 6 months later on down the line and nothing's improved, that's when you can start looking at alternatives. But at least give it the opportunity and give it the chance that it deserves. Number one. Number two is this quality over quantity message that's out there right now. So if you'd have asked me 3 years ago what I would have chosen, and when I say quality versus quantity, what I mean by that is in a content point of view, so the content that you're creating, I mean that in the way that you're looking for leads. Do you want quality leads or do you want quantity of leads? And I'm also looking at in terms of the velocity in which you work as well, in terms of the way that I work. So I'm looking at how much work I do versus the quality. So quality versus quantity in every sense of the word. It's really important because by the end of this section, I'm going to be giving you what my point of view is and where you should be focusing. Or actually, you know what? Not where you should be focusing, where I'm focusing and how I'm getting the results that I am. Now, this has all come about because of this kind of thinking in the marketplace that we need to be really personalised in the way that we approach people. Now, for me, to give you the answer like straight away, if you want to choose quality over quantity, it's quantity every single day of the week. Yes, we want everything to be good. Yes, we want everything to be personalised. However, especially when it comes to lead generation, right, which is what this channel's all about making money, getting people through a pipeline, I'd rather have 2,000 CEOs, owners of businesses, coaches, consultants, speakers, right? I'd rather have 2,000 of those, like a large quantity. I don't care if they're beginners, I don't care if they're experts, I don't care if they're just starting out, multi-million pound organ. I'd rather have 2,000 people to talk to rather than two, right? And even if those two people were the most quality, like the highest of premium, creme de la creme, leads, I'd rather have 2,000. Give me the quality, like the quantity every single day of the week, because I know that then it becomes just literally paint by numbers. It's a numbers game, right? I know that at least out of those 2,000 people, in month 1, 10% will convert. In month 2, another 10% will convert. In month 3, another 10% will convert. And with those 2,000 people, if I can get them sharing content and making noise about me, that 2,000 can turn into 4,000 very quick. Then another 10,000, then 20, and suddenly we've got an audience that's just like absolutely exploding. I watched a video of a guy called Mr. Beast. Some of you might have known him. He's a YouTuber. And he launched his Beast Burger brand 3 to 4 months ago, something like that. And he's got hundreds of millions of subscribers, right? Literally like the peak of, like the pinnacle of YouTube. And he launches Beast Burger in a random mall in the US, and he puts 10,000 people into the mall to come and buy burgers, right? Like, it was mental when you look at it. But again, the reality of the situation is that he's gone, like, his videos are the highest of quality now. But if you go back to when he first started, about what really got his brand going, it was the quantity of videos that he was creating. And so, like, we can't really determine anymore. I can't tell you whether this video is going to do well or it's going to do badly, right? I have no clue. However, if I can do one now and record another one in 10 minutes time, another one in 10 minutes time, I can guarantee if I do 10, one of them is going to be a really, really high quality performer. Which one that is, I have no idea. It depends which one you like the most. You might like a certain tone or energy right now. You might like something else. However, I won't be able to do that unless I really start testing the marketplace. And this is a big thing when it comes to marketing and sales right now, because people want, like, the answers straight away. They want, what's going to work for me? Marketing and sales is about testing. It's about grabbing a load of things, testing, getting them done, and then doing one at a time to the point at which you can actually make a real definitive answer of whether it's working for you or not. Having a scattergun approach, chopping and changing, like I said in point 1, is not the answer. However, doing lots and lots and lots of the same thing, just to different variations, bang, that's where you're going to get the data to be able to make a decision. So that's my point, really. Point number 2, quality versus quantity. Like, when it comes to lead gen, give me quantity every day of the week, and that's what I'm after. Like, whether I'm selling corporate consulting, whether Sam's selling corporate training at £20,000 a day, or whether we're looking for an academy business at 150 quid a month, all I want is more people to know who we are and what we do. More people in that pipeline, more people every day. And if you're not focusing in on that as a business right now, you're missing out on opportunity, because although there's a bit of doomsday in the market right now, the opportunity is just mega. Like, there is so much of it out there if you've got the right process in place, if you've got the right message at the right tone, at the right angle, connected to the right bit of conversion piece of content, bang, that's where the magic is. So point 2, quantity versus quality. I'd like to think you know my answer by now. And then number 3 is really around kind of like the message in the marketplace right now. So one of the things that I spend lots of time doing at this current point in time is looking at people's whole marketing approach, their whole strategy end to end. And I can look at all the processes in the world. I can look at all the sales funnels in the world, all the social media channels in the world. I can look at all their collateral, all of it end to end. And what I'm finding time and time again is that the language that's being used right now isn't in line with what their customers are actually talking about and, more importantly, thinking about. So what I do with a lot of our customers, and what I've done for myself inside of Pipeline 44, is really start to think about, rather than talking about pain, like most marketers will tell you to talk about, rather than talking about kind of like the problems that people are experiencing, like really thinking about, like, what are your prospects coming to you and asking you that allows you to be able to identify that they've got a problem? Now, to give you the context to this, most people don't come and drop me an inbox message, right? They don't inbox me and say, Chris, like, I just want to know what your Social Selling Academy is so I can come and join it. They don't talk about a solution. Heck, they don't tend to come in and say, Chris, look, struggling for leads right now. How do I get more leads? That's not a question that people come up and ask. A typical question and the wording that people use is, Chris, I'm posting on LinkedIn right now. Like, I'm doing everything everyone tells you to do, but I'm still not getting the results. Why is that? I don't know why. Like, I'm really struggling. It's a sentence that they use. Another thing could be that, like, I'm posting, like, I'm prospecting, I'm sending messages, but no one's responding to me anymore. Like, what is it? What's the problem? And the amazing thing is, when you, like, even just take those statements and put it in headlines in content, or you run an event or like a webinar around those things, the pull is absolutely massive compared to the typical how to get more leads on LinkedIn message. So what I want to implore you to do is just an exercise, right? Is to actually write down and track what it is that your prospects, or what you're seeing other people leaving comments saying on people's content, that actually allows you to identify what problem they've got. So you've heard my examples, think of your own. And just with that, what you'll start to see is just a slight change in the way that you communicate, and a much better reaction. Like, when we have people in the academy do this, we're like, it's immediate. It's not like it takes time to see a difference. Once you start talking the language of your customers, and it sounds really simple, however, I guarantee there'll be some of you that are listening to this thinking, oh my God, why haven't I thought of this before? When you start doing it, you start to see instant results. And we have seen a huge change in the way that we're getting responses from prospects back now. So they're the three things really, right? Chopping and changing strategy, like following that shiny penny. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Focusing on one process. Try it until you know that it's not going to work. Quantity versus quality. Like for me, quantity is the answer right now. That may change. Yes, you want everything that you do to be quality. But actually, just keep getting more and more out there. Really focus in on testing that message. And then number 3 is around that messaging, right? So start talking the language of your customers and prospects rather than talking about what typical marketers will teach you. Those 3 things have been game changing for us over the last 3 to 4 months, maybe take it up to 6 months really. But if you could just start thinking about that in a bit more detail, you'll see some absolutely extraordinary results inside of your company and what you're doing. That's it really. If you have any questions, please leave a comment below. I'm here to answer anything that you've got. Please hit that like button for the algorithm, helps me a lot. Do subscribe if you're not subscribed to the channel already, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.